All right, let's get started. So this is what your model view should look like. And I also have my measures table, which is just a blank table where I will store my measures. Okay, problem one. Write a measure to calculate how many unique products that had actual sales within the meat and produce department. So first off, unique products that had actual sales, that's like a distinct count. And we need to filter it so it's only meat and produce. So if I go new measure, I want to calculate the distinct count of, and it said that had actual sales. So I'm going to close this for a second and just go to my sales table. And I want to see what my sales table looks like. I have item ID. It says unique products. Item ID is a product. So I think we're good. We don't need to add any fields to solve this. So we're just going to distinct count on item ID where, and this is where department is in meat produce. Let's try that. If I go to matrix and I add this guy, there's our answer. So that is correct. So problem one right there, boom. Let's go to problem two. Write a measure that shows how many products from the sales table were sold that have either the word gallon, ounce, or pounds. So I need to know what the description is. I'm going to pull in the description here. What's the description called? Product name. So if I add a new column here, equals prod description is equal to related, what's it called again? Product name. Now that's the description. Now I can add a new column to check if it has those things. So description check is equal to switch true. So this is just an if statement, okay? So I'm starting my if statement. And the if statement starts with prod desk. We need to find, we need to look for pounds, for example. So I think if we said is find, let's see what find is. Bin text returns a string. It is case sensitive. I want the non-case sensitive one, not case sensitive. So search, and let's find out what the parameters are. What text do we want to find? In this case, it's pounds. Within text prod description, start position we don't care about, and then if it's not found, 0. So if this is greater than 0, then 1. So what it's going to do is it's going to look for pounds. If it finds pounds, it'll return the position. So let's say pounds is right here. It would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would return 7 because pounds starts at the 7th position. I don't really care. I just want to know if it's there. So I'm saying if this is anything greater than 0, then give me 1. Otherwise, it'll not give me 1. So I just want the ones. Let's test this out. Okay, do I have any ones? I do have one. So it's right now it's just blank. So it's either blank or 1, which is fine. So now I'm just going to copy this. But this time I'll search for ounce. And then this time I'll search for gallons. And then I think we can do an otherwise 0. I don't know. Let's try that. There we go. So now I have ones and zeros. Let's look at our ones. Pounds, pounds. Well, actually, you could just see it right here. Now that I filtered. Pounds, ounce, 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 pounds. Are there any gallons here? I don't see any gallons. Did I do gallons wrong? Let's check our logic. Gallons, and then did I ask for gallons or gallon? Pounds. Oh, gallon. This is important. It can't be the S. There we go. If I go here, now I have gallon right there. So yeah, gallon working now. So now that I have my ones and zeros, so one only appears when it's there, otherwise it's a zero. So my new answer for problem 2 is I can just sum up all those ones. So problem 2, you can actually count them too, it's the same answer. Sum of, I think it's called check. If I go here, that's the right answer. So I'm adding up all the ones or counting. If you counted here, it would be the same answer. No, it wouldn't. Why? Oh, because it's counting the zeros. We would have to be count A, which is counting non-blanks. What does count A do again? Oh, they're not blank. They still have zero. So we would have to do a count with a calculator where it says greater than zero. But anyway, we don't have to do that because we can just sum. And if we sum, we're getting the right answer. Okay, problem 3. Write a measure that shows me the count of unique products plus unique categories plus unique departments from the product table, not from the sales table. So if I just go here, new measure, count distinct, or is it distinct count? Distinct count, and if I count no, it's not, it's product ID. So that would show me the unique number of products we sell. And then I'm just gonna copy this. And then this would show me its department. And then what else do we need? We need department, we need product, categories. So that would show me the unique products plus the unique departments, because I'm using distinct, plus the unique categories. There we go. 59 is correct. All right, let's jam. Create a new table that is the same as the sales table, but only shows data for the top 10 highest selling products in terms of overall revenue. Revenue is calculated using sales times quantity. So we need to know what the top 10 highest selling products are so that we can show a table with only those products present in them. So I will create this. I'm going to create a helper table first. New table. And I need to know top 10 selling products. But to even know that, first I need to know sales by product. So in this case, it would be summarizing the sales table, and we're grouping by product, which in this case is item ID. And we're total sales. Sales is the name of our sum column, and then we're going to sum sales. Now, we can't sum sales yet, so I'm just going to leave this blank for now. I need to create a sales column in my sales because this will just simplify it. So I'm going to go back to sales, new column, and say totes sales equals price times quantity. Well, not quotient, quantity. Now I have a total sales column. It's just an easy way to make this easier. So now I can sum the totes sales. Okay, so this is sales by product. I just need the top 10 sales by product. So, no, I don't like that. So I'm going to indent everything and then go down a level and then come here and take the top 10 from this table. That's my table. And then it says order by expression. In this case, we want to order by total sales, and we want it descending. And I think, do we want this? There we go. Wait, that's not doing what I wanted. That's showing me 10. Let's see, sum of sales, top end. Here's my table. Comma, order by expression, total sales. It needs the brackets. I should have this is a great example. Don't try and type it. Let the DAX populate it for you. The 7. Okay, there's my top 10. And I only want the item ID. So I'm going to go one further. Oops. And I'm going to add select columns. The table will be what I just worked on. And the column I want is just called item ID. There's my top 10 item IDs. So that's my helper table, top 10 selling products. So the question says create a new table that is the same as the sales table, but only shows data for the top 10. So now I can actually solve the problem. So new table, problem for, remember, this is a table, not a measure, equals, but we're writing DAX to solve it, equals filter the sales table where the item ID is in item, what is that? Okay, I'm gonna use this blank for now. I need to know what this is called. Sales item ID, apparently, from the top tellings, top in top, no, in top selling products. There we go. So I filtered the sales table and said, show me only the items. So like it's the same sales table, but I filtered out so that they only include from that column item ID, which that's what it's called now, sales item ID. So the table is top 10 selling products. The field is sales underscore item underscore ID. Okay, let's keep going. Write a measure that shows me the year-over-year growth, percent growth from 20 to 2021 for the meat department in Arizona. So I need the year, the department. Okay, so let's see. I can't remember if we need to do related, but we're going to mess around and find out. Okay, so I need to know the sales in 2021 first. So growth, no, sorry, problem 6 or 5, sorry. So I need to calculate for sure where I need the sum of totes sales, not from problem 4, totes sales from the sales table, where the department is equal to meat and the state. See, it doesn't let me grab state, which is a huge bummer. We'll keep, by the way, does it let me grab state if I get rid of this? State. It does. Okay, this is interesting. Equals Arizona, comma, the product. What do we need? Right measure the meat department. Sorry, the department is equal to meat. Instead of saying ands, I'm just going to have commas here. Then it lets me pull from different tables. So I have stores equal to Arizona, products is equal to meat. And then I think, let's try to do this inline, otherwise I'll have to add a column. The year of the date, which is in sales date, equal to 2021. Again, all inline, so I didn't have to add anything. Wow, that let me do it. So if I come here, total sales would be something, 509,000. Good. So now we have the first part. So this is part 1, 2021 sales, which means I can just copy this and say, because my growth formula is the new divided by the old, in this case, 2020 sales, minus 1. So 2021, which is the new, divided by 2020 sales minus 1. Let's see if that works. 6%. That's correct. Sweet. Okay. Number 6. By the way, 5. Oh, wait, we forgot to check 4. 4 should have 41,000 rows. Problem 4. 41,000. Yeah, so that one was right. Okay, problem 6. Write a measure that shows the average sale price of all products that were actually sold. So I'm going to be averaging the sales price, not averaging sales, but the sales price But only for highest selling category in terms of revenue in 2021. Well, first I would need to know what are sales by category in 2021 so then I can take the highest one. So I am going to try to get sales by category using a helper table. So sales top sale by cat is equal to summarize. And what table do we want to summarize? We want to summarize the sales table, but we want to filter it so it only has 2021 sales in it. So instead of passing in the sales table, I'm going to pass in a filter of the sales table. Filter the sales table so that the year of the date is equal to 2021. That's the table I'm passing in to summarize. Then it says, what do you want to group by? In this case, I want to group by category. And then I want to now define the name of what I'm summing, which is total sales by category. So this would be totes sales. And I would sum on the totes sales from the sales team. That would be the end of my summarize. So if I hit yes here, this should show me all, if we go to the table view, all sales by category for the year 2021. So now I just need a top N here where I want the highest seller from that table. I want to order it by totes sales and I want it descending. Now food is the highest. We could do select column, maybe what the heck? Let's isolate that column. Select columns from the table we just created. And then I only want to see category. No, it's not that. It's category. There we go. So now it changes the name, but anyway, that's what it is. So now this is isolated. So that foods is the highest selling category in 2021. So this says, write the average sales price of all products. So now I can go write my measure. So I go new measure and I say problem 6 is equal to average of the sales price, which I think there's just a field called price. And we need to calculate here because we need to filter this. Oops. So calculate the average sales price where the category is in values, and then we'll refer back to here. Top sales by cat, and include that new field we added, which is the field that shows what is the highest selling cat. So the average price should be, I hope, that's not helpful. I hope 8.14, that's correct. All right, write a measure showing me the percent of sales occurring in the state with the highest sales in terms of revenue. This means we need to figure out which state really does have the highest sales and take those sales and divide it by all sales. Okay, similar to before, we need to know who is the highest selling state. Okay, I'm going to use a helper table, modeling, new table, highest selling state. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Is a summarize because I need to know what are sales by state. So I'm going to take the sales table and I'm going to say group by state. And I'm going to say, give me the totes sales by sorry, with the sum of totes sales. I'll let those be on the same line. Okay, so this should show me, top sales by, no, that's the wrong one. Where's my table? Highest selling state. These are the sales by state. So now I just need to grab, that should be there. I just need to grab, now I need to grab the highest selling state, which is top N, one from this table we just created. and I want to order it on total sales descending. So now we have the highest selling state, which is California. I will select the column to isolate California. The table we're using is this one, and the name we're using is state. So change the name, but now that is the highest selling. So now it wants me to take the sales for that state and divide it by the sales of all states. So now we can write the measure. Top, oh wait, no, this is just problem 7. Okay, so we need to know the sales of the top selling states. So calculate the sum of totes sales where the state is equal, or no, in values, and it would be highest selling state. Okay, so that's actually great. So that's our numerator. This is sales in the top selling state. And we're just going to divide that by the sum of totes sales, which is the sum of all states, right? All sales happen in a state. So I don't need to know sales by state. I can just sum all sales, and that would be our denominator. I think, I don't know, let's check. 11, is that what the key says? I think that is 11%. That's right. All right, write any measure you choose, but it just needs to include variables. So I'm going to do a really simple one for you just to show. Someone mentioned in class like variables could be really helpful. I totally agree. So here's our problem 8. And I totally don't even remember our syntax with variables, so I have to. So var x equals 1. Var y equals 2. Return x plus y, or x plus y. That's true. So here I'm just showing you can set, like this could be a whole table. I could have done these without helper tables and just set them to variables, but this is an illustration how variables work. You could set something to a value. So this here you could say var x is equal to the sum of total sales. And y is equal to the sum of quantity. I don't know. And then return total sales plus quantity. Not that that would make any sense, but does the variable work? Yes. Does it return something? Apparently it does. So that question, it's just showing that you know how to use a variable. Okay, problem 9. Let's see a new table based on the sales table, but only for the stores that are the top 11 to 20 stores in terms of revenue. So all columns, let's see a new sales. Okay, so we're just filtering the sales table to show only the 11 to 20 stores, and the 11 to 20 stores determined by their total revenue. That means we need a helper table, which will show me sales by store so that I can filter it to be 11 to 20. So sales by store is equal to summarize. We want to look at the sales table. Sales table. I want to group by the store. I want to then get the totes sales, which is the sum of totes sales. Okay, if I do that, this is called sales by state. Here's my sales, or I'm sorry, sales by store. Here's my sales by store, but I need the 11th to 20th. So we're going to have to do a little trickeration here, a little trick play. And by the way, this should be there. There we go. I'm going to take the top N, which is, I want the top 20 stores. I want the 20th stores. This is the table I'm using, and I want to order this by total sales descending. That gives me top 20. So then I need to do another top N to get the bottom 10 of the top 20. That would give me 11 to 20. So then top N, I want the bottom 10 this time of the top 20. That's the table I'm using. And the order by here would be totes sales ascending. Now I took the top 20 of sales by store. That gives me 1 to 20. Then I'm taking the bottom 10 of the top 20 using ascending. So now I should have the top, or excuse me, 11 to 20. I'll select columns so that I can only see the store's names. Select columns. That's the table I'm using. And the column I want to see is store ID, sorry. Store ID. Now I see only the store ID. So now this is pretty simple. Now that I know what are the 11 to 20 stores, if I go new table, call problem 9, filter the sales table so that the store ID is equal, or excuse me, in values of sales by store. That's the answer. We should have 21,000 rows, 21,000 rows. All right, let's keep going. Write a measure that shows year-to-date sales in terms of revenue up to May 2021 through the end of May for stores in California. So year-to-date just means January through May. So I need to know for 2021, so that's definitely a filter. So if I go here, new measure, problem 10 is equal to calculate the sum of total sales where the so it wants the year to be equal to 2021. So we can take the year of the date is equal to 2021. And then I'll say the month of the date is less than or equal to 5. That would be May. So now we know year-to-date sales. Right measure show me in terms of revenue for stores in California. Lastly, store, and it's like store state is equal to California. 1014, that's correct. Last one, write a measure that adds up all the character lengths from the product name in the product table combined with all the character lengths from the department. Okay, so character lengths means the length of a character from the product name in the product table. So if I go to the product, where's my product table? Okay, product table for reals. These are the character lengths. So to simplify this, I'm just going to add a new column that says car length is equal to the length of the product name. This would show the character length. So now I can just sum that column. And then it says, of the length of the department in the product table. Okay, so this is car length of name. New column would be car length department equals len, which stands for length, department. Okay, so I just summed these two columns. I think we're done. If I hit new measure, total, oh wait, no, this is problem 11 equals sum of car lengths plus the sum of car length in car length department, car length product name. If I go here, problem 11, 1493, gentlemen and ladies, that is the test.